Welcome back to Syberia, the world before. We're going to head down and head back to the guest house for a night of sleep.
Oh, gosh. What a day.
So we still have the opportunity to look around here if we want. But all we really need to do is just return to the guest house. So just down here.
Closed. It's late. Frau Wagner must have gone to bed.
Check out the latest discoveries on the computer before you go to bed. Okay, we'll do that. Just sitting by the fire here. Should be nice and warm. Let's check out the computer. Search people and organizations. People. Okay, Lenny.
It's a shame that Demoiselle Lenny is so modest about having been a member of the Resistance. She's a true hero.
60th anniversary of the liberation of Vaghen, a heartfelt tribute to the veteran resistance fighters. And there she is, Lenny. The procession first passed down Vaghen's symbolic memory lane. A heartfelt tribute was given to resistance fighters who indefatigably fought against the fascist invaders throughout the occupation period. Most of the remaining survivors were able to make the journey and deliver moving speeches that deeply touched the assembly. As a reminder, 60 years ago, all the resistance groups of Vaghen fought alongside the Red Army and Allied forces to retake the town and Osterthal from the Brown Shadow. There was, however, just one disappointment. Leni Renner, the well-known manageress of the refuge of Silberspiegel, and one of the most revered and emblematic resistance fighters of our town, once again refused to join the commemoration. A local icon describes her refusal as her own particular way of paying tribute to her comrades fallen in combat, and should be taken without the slightest hint of controversy. Given the thunderous applause that punctuated the old lady's name when called out at the podium, this sense of decency and discretion was perfectly understood by all present. Junta. Oops. Let's get back.
Huh. Junta. Demoiselle Lenny told me a lot about her. But was she some kind of spy?
Born in London in 1912 of Austrian parents, Junta Steinhoff is a filmmaker and photographer. She is famous for her major aesthetical influence on the cinema of the 1930s. She was at the center of several controversies over her presumed role during the Second World War. Initially accused of collaborating with the Brown Shadow, for whom she made several commissioned films, Junta Steinhoff later was found to have worked for the Allied secret services, especially the British. The filmmaker lived in London until 1935. She loved mountaineering, sports and photography, which led her to following the international winter sports competitions for different newspapers and specialized magazines. She sojourned regularly in the Alps, especially in the area situated in Osterthal. Fluent in German and keen to meld in with the population of Osterthal, the filmmaker chose the artistic pseudonym of Junta Steinhoff, so borrowing her mother's maiden name while giving a nod to her Germanic origins and to the heroine of the mountain film, Das Blue Licht, filmed by the very controversial Leni Riefenstahl. Junta Steinhoff dedicated a large part of her work to filming mountaineers come from the four corners of the world to challenge the renowned rock faces of Osterthal. The beauty of youth and the magnificent landscapes combined in her aesthetical vision, so nurturing her passion for both the cinema and photography. Junta Steinhoff was accepted into the very close circle of Osterthal Alpinus, hungry for outstanding records. This circle was in those days very politicized and said to be close to the fascist ideas of the Brown Shadow. These ideas were exemplified by the conquest of untouched peaks, exalting the supposed virtues of so-called superior race, whose pureness was equated according to the racist ideology to that of snow-capped summits. It was during this period that Junta Steinhoff was commissioned to make films for the Brown Shadow. The political movement soon went from fake patron to finance of pure propaganda. Yet when the Second World War broke out, the artistic aura of the filmmaker enabled her to promote her films both in the capitals of the Axis powers as well as in a fair number of Allied countries. It was revealed that Junta took advantage of these trips to supply precious information to the Allied forces and especially to the Foreign Office in London, who had preventatively approached the young woman during the rise of the Brown Shadow in the 1930s. Upon the liberation of Osterthal, Junta Steinhoff was detained for a few days for her role in the Brown Shadow's propaganda machine. Her status as a double agent soon enabled her to be cleared. The filmmaker has since kept herself to herself, having returned to live in her native England. Okay, so she was working as a double agent. Interesting. Anything more on Dana Rose here?
No results about Dana. She probably never got famous.
Okay, so not the Dana we're looking for. That's fine, let's go back. Anything else? Origin Expedition?
Nothing relevant. The expedition mustn't have led to any major breakthrough, I guess.
Okay, nothing there. The Music Academy? I think I've had a look at this already. This shouldn't be new. Maybe that was something I was supposed to have a look at. Is this new? Let me have a quick look. The Academy of Music of Vaghen. Founded at the beginning of the 19th century, the Academy of Music quickly became the veritable Vaghen institution. The Academy trained many generations of internationally acclaimed musicians, especially pianists, so contributing to the cultural influence of the town the world over. The Academy is also an architectural curiosity built in Vaghen's main square. Its prodigious, world-famous automaton orchestra attracts thousands of tourists and music lovers every year from around the world. The Academy is a place of great importance in Vaghen history and played a crucial role in the tragic events of the Second World War. Following the annexation of Osterthal by the Brown Shadow in 1938, and by extension of Vaghen, the Brown Shadow turned the Academy into an Oberfelder Commander or High Field Command. Opening the archives has since enabled historians to prove that its soundproof rehearsal rooms were used by the Brown Shadow as prison cells and interrogation rooms. It was in this building that the last moments of the Vaghen offensive were played out. The battle that pitched the Red Army and local resistance fighters against Brown Shadow forces resulted in the liberation of Vaghen. Following bitter negotiations with the other Allied powers, the Red Army handed over the main control of the town to American and British forces to allow the Soviets to focus on their ongoing liberation of Central Europe. The Allied forces then made the Academy their general headquarters, so allowing time to initiate a transition of power to the relevant civil authorities. Once this was completed, the Academy once again became a prestigious place for learning music. The Academy's recent history is steeped in controversy. Owing to a large decline in students over the past 20 years, it has recently been announced that the Academy is on the verge of financial collapse. The council is said to have even taken the decision to close it and to computerize the automaton orchestra, so creating a tourist attraction that can function on a schedule. This decision has triggered loud outcries from the town's heritage advocates who have multiplied appeals. These appeals have all been rejected. Okay. I think we've looked at everything else. Katusha and Sarah. Okay, so that's the same. Let's go back. That's it.
The more I discover about Dana, the more I get the feeling I'm only scratching the surface of Vaghen's history. Oh, but hey, let's call it a day. I really should go to bed now.
Oops, let's go back up here, head up the stairs, across the way here. And nothing else for us to do except go to bed.
Is that you, Katie?
Yes, Mom! I mean, who else can it be?
Okay, inspect the house before we take the music box. Let's have a look around.
Looks like Mom's friends came over again last night. She's been seeing them a lot since what happened to Dad. Maybe too much. Come on, I've been cooped up in my room for hours. Jeez, pulling my hair out trying to figure out the math problem Miss Wormwood gave us. I deserve a break, right?
Let's try to go outside.
Mommy, can I go out and play with Olivia?
That depends on you, Munchkin. Did you finish your homework?
Yeah. More or less.
So I can come check it then, right, Katie?
Actually, it looks too cold to go out. Think I'll stay in.
Just what I was thinking.
Not fair.
Mr. Richard Walker.
Another letter for Dad. Last time it took Mom days to find the strength to open it.
From Grandpa and Grandma.
Grandpa and Grandma from New York gave it to me for my last birthday. I really ought to read it, or at least dog-ear the pages so it looks like I did.
Okay, it's just that one that we can open. Check out the other side. Our dearest Sarah, your father and I would like to express our deepest sorrow at what happened to Richard. We are worried about your welfare, darling Sarah. You might be a fully grown adult, but we still worry about you. We wanted you so much. You were our miracle child. So even now, as a young woman with a daughter of her own, it is hard for us to see you suffer. You have always been our pride and joy. Just remember, darling, we are here for you. Should you need us, we will always be here for you. As long as we breathe, we shall be with you. We shall be with you whatever happens in the spring for your birthday. Remember, just let us know if you want us to stay with you for a while until you're back on your feet. And we shall be down as fast as you can say Jack Robinson. With our deepest love, Mama and Papa.
The piano that Mom ordered will soon be here. Couldn't
Okay.
bring myself to tell her that I wanted a drum kit instead.
So that's how Kate learns to play the piano?
Mom bought those again. Wow. I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up.
Oh, hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom.
Is everything okay, Katie?
Everything's fine.
We haven't seen Grandpa and Grandma for a long time. Mom says they'll probably come over from New York on her birthday.
Okay, so that's everything we need to look at. Let's just go and find the music box. Well, it's not exactly a music box, a music swan.
forgot your music box.
Be careful with that, please, Munchkin.
Where'd this come from?
I already told you. Your grandma and grandpa gave it to me when I was little.
Doesn't look like it's from New York, though.
I don't know. Must have been in the family forever.
I just love it.
You've always liked it. Ever since you were little.
Will you give it to me when I'm big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl. When I get old.
So when will that be then?
Later, Katie.
But when?
In a very, very long time, I guess. When I'll be gone.
Okay.
What the hell? You want me to call you Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse criticism.
Okay, we didn't actually get to read it. Let's read it. Dear Kate, wherever you are now, despite the sad news it contains, I hope this letter reaches you in time for you to make preparations to return to New York. Sarah Walker, your mother, passed away last night at Mount Sinai Hospital. She had been poorly for several months, and her death was no doubt a release. The burial service will take place Thursday next week. We have put back the ceremony so you can be with us. If I'm not mistaken, if you return to the United States, you run the risk of having to answer to the law. Sometimes it's better to pay your debts to society instead of being forever on the run. And if once just put aside those senseless adventurous pretensions of yours, they've already cost you your friends and family. I beg you, Kate, please come back and say goodbye to your mother. Call me so we can organise your return in the best conditions possible. I've enclosed your mother's pendant. According to her, you used to love the mystery of its melody. I promised I would send it to you. Okay, so we are supposed to call Olivia. Use introspection. Now I don't think we're using introspection up here. Can we walk? Oh, I seem to be stuck. Come on.
I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage.
Alright, let's head on down.
Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans. Looks like I'm not the only one who can't sleep tonight. don't know why I should be so nervous about making a simple phone call. I mean, hey, I've crossed Europe, been in all sorts of danger, and yet look at me here. I'm worrying about talking to my former best friend. Oh, and I think I used to spend my life on the phone gossiping with her. So what do I risk? Criticism? The one who missed her mother's funeral because she was breaking rocks at the bottom of a mine. In any case, Olivia hasn't stopped criticizing me ever since I left Valladolid on Hans Vorarlberg's train. I'm the one who should be criticizing her. I mean, come on. Isn't she the one who took advantage of my absence to get her hooks into Dan? Now look at me, mulling over old grudges. That's exactly what I wanted to escape from when I decided to go with Hans in his train to Syberia. And then there was the departure with the Sokal tribe, their seasonal migration. Come on, Kate, for Christ's sake, stop procrastinating. Just make the darn call and get it over with.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Canton, is that you? Who's there, please?
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated? I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You know I can't come back, Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and just when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I'm calling precisely because I do care. It's just that ever since Katyusha's death and escaping from the mine, well, things have been, yeah, complicated. And then there's the woman in the painting, Dana.
What are you talking about, Kate? Just listen to yourself. None of what you're saying makes any sense.
Olivia, please.
Kate, Ugh! Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Canton. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
Are you done?
Oh, Kate. I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone. And that's how you're gonna stay.
let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vaghen. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records.
Okay, on the trail of Dana Rose, let's go.
Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
Well, we'll go down and have a chat with her. I do want to check out the journal as well and see if there's been any updates. Let's talk to Frau Wagner first.
Oh, hello, Miss... Ah, Miss Walker. Did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Vaghen because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though. Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
What do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Vaghen for everyone, see? Best not stir up old memories.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Vaghen was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see. But I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
Oh, it must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
I'd like to go to the music academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town. Where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
All right, let's go. So just straight up here, we should be able to take the tram to the music district. Before we do this, let's take a look at the journals. Seeking Kate Walker, Nick Canton's reports. Dear Mrs. Foster, today I went to the famous refuge in the Silberspiegel Mountain where that picture was painted, the one that Kate Walker seems to have become so obsessed about since her escape from the mine. I was expecting it to be one heck of a long journey to reach the refuge, but on the way I bumped into a group of alpinists and technicians from the Institute of Forensic Medicine at Vaghen. It turned out they were also heading near the refuge, more precisely to the foot of the infamous pass known as Devil's Pass, to carry out some macabre work. I'll spare you the grim details. Anyway, they kindly offered me a lift to the refuge in their helicopter. Once there, I made the acquaintance of the manageress of the place, a sour-tempered old woman named Lenny. A sly and taciturn old-timer, she wasn't exactly an easy witness to question, I can tell you. All the more so as our meeting took place under the watch of a kind of hired help who must assist the old woman on a daily basis. He was a colossus of a guy, and was careful to make himself visible to me while at the same time keeping his face well in the semi-darkness of the common room. Typical intimidation tactics, which of course were totally useless against me. I mean, I'm from New York, right? I managed to winkle the confirmation out of the old dame that Kate Walker had been to the refuge and had questioned the old lady on events that took place in the summer of 1937. Fraulein Lenny ended up caving and begrudgingly told me everything she knew. She spoke a lot about a certain Dana Rose, that's the young woman on Miss Walker's painting. She had apparently fallen for an alpinist by the name of Leon during that summer. All this was during preparations for a secret exhibition known as Origin, financed by the Brown Shadow. It was recorded on film by a female filmmaker in vogue at the time, a certain Junta Steinhoff. Apparently this Leon, following a disagreement with the Brown Shadow militiamen, was forced by the fascists to go with the expedition to a faraway land they called Baltayar, so causing a painful separation with this Dana Rose. Armed with this knowledge, Kate Walker then continued her research the following day at the Academy of Music at Vaghen. That's where I'm headed now to continue my investigation. So he's still a step behind, although we haven't been to the music district just yet. Let's go. Okay, off to the Music Academy.